I was happy to say I've never had gambling problems. That's before I knew what Gatcha games were. Today I'm here to explain how I lost $700 gambling on a video game. Because I want to make sure you guys understand the danger behind Gatcha games. The prime example of this, and I think the biggest one known for me right now, is Genshin Impact. And Gatcha games are super dangerous because video games are so targeted to young children, and it's easy to get them into this gambling addiction because you don't understand. You're actually gambling for your life and your own money for some skins and some characters and some new stuff that you want to try in the game. The prime example of this is obviously Genshin Impact. I started playing that game when I was like 17 years old. At the time, Breath of the Wild was the most recent game, so for me, it looked and sounded familiar. And without me knowing, I was out of $700 from my wallet into that game. Because I absolutely wanted Hu Tao. Until this day, it's one of my biggest achievements. I love you, Hu Tao. And Genshin Impact is a classic experience of what a gacha is. It gets you addicted to the game, it gets you want to get more of the game, but it doesn't guarantee you what you're gonna have when you play the game and when you buy stuff in the game, which is the core basis of gambling. You're trying your best to get something you want, but you're not sure to get that something. It's not like putting your money in the Fortnite skin, because when you buy Fortnite skin, you're not gambling, you're not buying something you don't know what you're gonna get. You're actually putting money and you know what you're gonna receive. And every single game that take advantage of this mystery and probability that what you're gonna get, like mystery box and loot box or whatever, is gambling. It is gambling. I don't care what you guys say, it is gambling. I'm gonna call video games the casino of modern times. And why am I saying this? It's because a lot of video games, not even just gacha, are using different concepts and different tricks from casinos to bring you to buy more stuff into the game. With the whole sounding and the whole lights and everything and the colors, everything is made to make you sit down and buy more. Before I go deep into what gacha is and how it works, I want to talk about my personal experience with Genshin Impact and a lot of games actually. I tend to not be super, it's gonna sound a bit, it really gonna sound like I'm arrogant, but I don't think mentally I'm predestined to have addictions. I can easily stop something when I just have enough of it. If you ask me to play video games and I like it, I can play a lot for like 2 weeks, and whenever I get tired of it, well, I'm tired of it, and that's it. I'm not gonna stay stuck playing a game, and I've never had problems of not leaving something behind in my life. When I need to move on, I'll just move on. But what was dangerous with video games at the time, and still today, is I love playing video games and I love getting new things in video games. I think every player is attached to getting new skins, new characters, new weapons, and everything. It's a game. It's like something fun. And whenever I got older with my own money and I worked, I didn't make a lot of money. I was like a student. I'm still a student, by the way. But at the time, I was more a student. I had a work that paid less. I wasn't making a lot of money. I had like a student job and everything. So my money always went into video game stuff. So if it was new video games or skins or whatever. But whenever I got to a point where I was buying so much in loot boxes, for example, Overwatch. I love Overwatch till this day. At the time, I used to buy a lot of loot box to get what I wanted. And that's dangerous because I would never get what I wanted, because that's how gambling works. You put a lot of money in hope that you get something, but that thing you're never gonna get. You're always gonna get the stupid thing that you don't care, and the thing that you want is inaccessible. And so many different things in life just pass gambling as a hobby. And I think that is so dangerous, especially with kids. Another example out of video games is Pokemon cards. With the whole market and everything, how Pokemon cards have just skyrocketed with the prices and everything. I buy Pokemon cards and I love Pokemon cards and I love buying them and opening them. For me, it's something fun. I don't have a chase card. I don't have cards I want particularly. I don't go and buy cards super expensive. I just buy packs. Why? Because I love opening Pokemon cards. But giving me the sense that I need to have a precise card, having a chase card, is getting into a mentality that I need to gamble my money to get what I want. But it's so discreet. People don't pay attention to this, and that's why it's so dangerous, especially with children. So going back to video games, I started playing Genshin Impact when I was 17 years old. And to get new characters in the game and to advance and be more powerful, I guess, you need new characters. You need to buy money. You need to do wishes. But the thing is, you don't get enough primal gems in the game to do more wishes. To get more primal gems, you need to play extensive more hours to get just like 100. And wishes are like 1,000. So it's super long just to get to do one wish. So afterwards, what you do was the easiest way to get new characters. It's to put your money in the game. But the thing is, they give you a chance to have different characters and you want one, but it's not sure that you're gonna have that precise character. So I started to build my team to put a lot of money in that game just for me to get precise character. And that's where I got to the point where I spent over $700 in Genshin Impact. And that whole experience made me actually look back, and I stopped. That's over like 3 months. And afterwards I was like, oh shit, I need to sit down and stuff. How the heck did 700 went into Genshin Impact? I don't know how, I don't know why. And I don't feel like more advanced in the game, because that's what gambling's gonna do. Because when you win, you're gonna feel like you need more of it, and more and more and more. So even though I got the characters I wanted, I never felt like I had what I needed to do to advance into the game. So I needed to put even more money, and that's why I knew I had a problem. And this led me to question every time I put money in a game. And I stopped putting money in games that doesn't give me something that I know that's the thing I want. For example, again, I put money in Overwatch, but I don't gamble my money. When I put something in Overwatch, I buy a skin, a specific skin that I know that's what I'm gonna receive at the end. That's why I'm paying money for. I'm not gonna put money for something I don't know, for not knowing what I'm gonna receive. I'm not doing that anymore. And that's because I put so much money into Genshin Impact. But today, gacha games are still super popular, especially in Japan and Asian countries, and they still do a lot of games. I remember a new Persona game came out. I think it's called Persona 5 X or whatever. Anyway, it was a gacha game. As soon as I knew it was a gacha game, I did not play that game. I love Persona 5. For people that watch my other videos, I love Persona 5. But the thing is, I don't want to play gacha games because I feel like the basis of the game is just to gamble more. It's like a casino. You just go there, you sit down, and you put money for them to maybe give you something that you hope you can get one day or another. So after all of this, what is a gacha? We're not gonna lose the good habits we had in high school, so let's jump on Wikipedia. A gacha is a genre of video games that uses the mechanics of gacha. It's similar to loot boxes. Gacha insists on players to put money in the game to receive an object or a character virtually random. Truth is, most companies do not hide the fact that they are virtual casinos. That's the thing, first of all. Because the way gacha works, and a lot of video games work, is the more legendary the thing you get, the brighter the color is. And that's what is so dangerous about it. For example, when you go to a casino, whenever you have a bigger prize, more money, everything is going to shine, be bright, lots of light, lots of colors. And it's the same thing in video games. They use the same mechanics. For example, if I ask you what's the color of something legendary in every single game, most people will say orange. Why? Because it's a bright color, and it's a color that just pops in your eyes. So whenever you get something legendary in Genshin Impact, it's gonna be orange. Whenever you get something legendary in Overwatch, it's gonna be orange. It's always orange. So obviously this leads to your brain to be addicted to that dopamine that just get released, and some dopamine gets released into your brain that makes you more addicted to that feeling that you want more and more and more. The more you get of something, the more you need to have it to achieve the same amount of pleasure that you had before. That's how addictions are built. What happens when you play a game like a casino is you get addicted to your dopamine inside of you. But the thing is, you will never have the same amount of pleasure than the first time that you got something legendary. Why? Because your brain get used to the amount of dopamine inside of it. A lot of video games use the concept of probability to actually make you feel like it's possible for you to actually get something legendary. For example, I get away from Overwatch for a bit, so I'm gonna use Genshin Impact and Brawl Stars for example. The probability of Genshin Impact, it's most companies will not be afraid to show the probability to get something legendary in their wishes or in their pools. Why? Because for them it's a way of showing, well, we're honest, so when you gamble, technically you're not gambling because you know the risk. Yeah, that's not how it works. The brain is always going to focus more on the fact that there's a possibility than it's impossible to get it. So if we say you have 5% chance of winning something and you have 90% chance of losing something, most people are going to focus on the 5% chance that I can win something. That's how it works. That's how brain works. And I remember I read this really good article explaining how probability works on Genshin. In fact, I'm going to put a link down below. Not here to tell what video games company do is bad, because obviously they don't hide themselves for what they do. The thing is, you need to state exactly what it is. Whenever you have a problem to putting money into video games because you want a specific loot that you can get, it's a gambling addiction. Whenever you can't stop buying Pokemon cards because you're just running to that chase card because you absolutely want that Charizard X, it is a gambling addiction as well. And I just want you guys to be aware of what you're doing with the money you put inside of video games. Whenever you put money in a game, make sure you're not gambling that money and you have 100% chance to get what you want out of it. And if you're okay with sometimes putting a little bit of money in a loot box, or you know, a wish in Genshin Impact, or a pull or on Brawl Stars, whatever, as long as it stay reasonable. Don't lose your entire savings on a pull just because you want a specific character. And that's the danger that they're not going to tell you. They're always going to tell you, well, after this amount of wishes or this amount of pull, you have that amount of probability to actually get the legendary pull that you want. The thing is, they don't tell you that it resets every time. On that specific wish, you have this amount of probability to get a legendary stuff. For example, Brawl Stars, when you do a pull, like a legendary star or whatever, you have this amount of percentage to get a legendary star. I don't remember the percentage exactly, it's gonna appear here, but you have this amount of percentage to get a legendary star. But the thing is, it's not whatever you pull, it accumulates. No. That's not how it works. It's when you pull, that's the amount of chance that you get. So every time the counter resets to 0. If it's 0.0009%, well, it's gonna be 0.0009% all the time. Not gonna change. Not because you've pulled 10 stars, well, it got higher. That's not how it works. Only thing I know is whenever you do 10 wishes, I think you get a 4-star or higher. But the thing is, it's guaranteed a 4-star or higher, but you don't know what it is. It could be a weapon, it could be a character, it could be the character you don't want, you don't care. You don't know. But the probability of getting something legendary is the same as Brawl Stars, as the fact that it works into the way that it resets to 0 every wish that you do. I've used Genshin Impact a lot in that videos because that's the game I know the most and I did the most research on, and it's the bigger game. I know most people know Genshin Impact. That's why I used it. I don't play that game anymore. It's too toxic. It's too toxic for me. I don't play that game anymore. Yeah, so yeah, that video is just a little video to just remind you guys to be aware of what you do with your money. Just make sure you don't put it in games to get something that you don't want. Because yeah, most of these games are free. They are free because they know they're gonna make so much more money. For example, most of casinos to get in are fucking free. Why? Because they know they're gonna make money off of you, because they know they're gonna win no matter what. Let me tell you something. Something you need to remember. The house always win. You're never gonna be a winner with these games. So just keep your money, buy some beautiful skins, buy something you actually know you're gonna get, or just, you know, buy something outside. But try to be reasonable with everything that looks and can sound like gambling. And to be honest, put yourself in questions every time you put money into a video game, or into Pokemon cards, or into Magic cards, or into Riftbound, because I started playing Riftbound. That game is awesome. Every time something is random, question it. Am I at risk of getting a gambling addiction? That video is a bit different, it's a more serious topic, but I do think it's important to talk about it because I love video games. I'm a video game fan. I love everything that is Pokemon cards and everything, but I want to make sure people know what they are getting into, and it's dangerous to not talk about it. I've seen so little content creators talking about it, so I just want to talk about it, even though I'm not the biggest one. At least it's out there. If that video intrigued you, you actually like it, you could just put a thumbs up down below. If you want to see more of me, you can always subscribe. And if you want to know what are my top 5 favorite games of all time, you can click on the video that's going to appear on the screen right now. It was Ben. I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao, ciao.